Skating on thin ice. Understanding the phrase. Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to dive into a common English phrase that you might have heard, thin ice. It's a term that's used quite figuratively in conversations and can be a little tricky to understand if English isn't your first language. So, let's break it down together and get a clear picture of what it means to be on thin ice. Before we understand the figurative use, let's talk about what thin ice actually is. Imagine a lake that has frozen over in winter. If the ice is thick, it's strong enough to stand on. But if the ice is thin, it's weak and can't hold much weight, making it very dangerous. If someone walks on thin ice, they risk falling through into the cold water below. So, thin ice is a literal situation fraught with risk. In everyday English, when someone says you're on thin ice, they're warning you that you're in a risky situation, but not with actual ice. Instead, you're close to causing trouble or offending someone. Just like when you're about to step on fragile ice and someone yells, "Be careful." This phrase is a metaphorical caution. Let's look at some examples to see how this phrase is used. 1. You're on thin ice with the boss after coming late to the meetings. 2. I was on thin ice when I forgot our anniversary. 3. He's on thin ice by constantly challenging the teacher's authority. In all these sentences, being on thin ice means the person is in a precarious or delicate situation where there is potential for something bad to happen if they're not careful. This phrase is commonly used in English-speaking countries and can be found in professional, academic, and personal contexts. However, it's important to use it appropriately. It's generally reserved for situations where someone has a chance to correct their behavior before facing consequences. It's not typically used for very serious or non-negotiable situations. And that's a wrap on the phrase, thin ice. Next time you hear someone say they're skating on thin ice, you'll know they're not talking about a winter sport. They're in a tricky situation that requires careful action. I hope this explanation helps you understand this cool idiom, and you can use it confidently in your English conversations. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.